I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I call the Mitchell County Board of Supervisors meeting on June 23rd to order. And I do have, while I'm thinking of it, would you put on next week's agenda, Lowell, that we need to start discussing replacing our IT person. She leaves July 22nd. So we need to get working on that. Do you have any other additions for today, guys? Changes? The sheriff will not be here, but we'll still approve his report.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second?
Okay, with no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Agenda approved. Okay, how about the minutes? I know I've looked at them and they're fine.
I don't see any issues.
So moved.
Seconded.
No further discussion, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Okay, County Attorney General discussion. Mark, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Got something to tell us today?
Other than I sent you a copy of the letter that Brad Price sent me and my response to him.
Yes, you did.
That's what's going on. Sheriff Beaver went out and issued Russ Kephart 7 more tickets last Friday because each day is a separate violation. Other than that, I've talked to Brad Price on the phone, giving him our position, which is if he would just clean that up, this whole thing will go away. Other than that, I don't have anything.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions for him offhand?
No questions, no, other than I think he did a good job of indicating to Mr. Price that Kephart is
Yeah, and thanks
been
for
getting enough information, and he indicated that he had any knowledge of what's going on, and that was incorrect. So, but anyways,
Yeah,
thank you, Mark.
I didn't provide you with copies, but I provided him with copies of all the letters I've sent him by certified mail, proof that they were mailed certified, and which, Mr. Price wasn't aware of any of that. So that calmed things down a little bit.
Yes.
Well, thanks for keeping us informed too, what's going on. Okay, let's look at our sheriff's report. Thank you, Mark. Doesn't look really any different than normal.
Well, I'll make that a motion to approve the sheriff's report.
Okay, I'll second. No further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And I say aye. Opposed? Okay, the sheriff's report is approved. County engineer,
Morning.
hi.
How are you guys today?
Fair to partly cloudy.
Okay. Not much to discuss this morning. We're still interviewing yet for the engineer's assistant. Got a couple interviews. Got one today, and I think I'm going to schedule a couple more. Got a couple applications over the weekend, so I'll bring people in. The one thing I do have is received an email here. I think it was yesterday from the DOT, just in regards to the road use tax fund and how COVID-19 is affecting funding for the road use tax fund and other funding. And to make a long story short, trying to interpret everything, they told us to assume that our allocations over a 5-month period, I guess it would be from March till July, I guess, would be a 20% reduction in funding. And then from November through about June of next year, maybe about 10% increase, but it's all a very fluid time, we're probably okay finishing out fiscal year 20. It's one that we'll probably have to look at. So there's a lot of numbers to look at, a lot of calculations and scenarios that they've put into this document they sent out to predict what's going on or to try to explain what's happening. So the June allocation is always seems like, because it has to do with when it's road use tax funds, and the way this year worked out, the May road use tax number, because May ended on a Sunday, the funding came in on June, so it's really goofy how May's lower, June's low, but all in all, like I said, expect 20% these last 5 months, and then as we move on forward, maybe expect 10% by through next year. So just an idea that they've come up with, and nothing set in stone. Like I said, it's a very fluid situation. We'll keep an eye on the funding.
Well, and I'm sure it was hard for them to even predict, so this could all change. Who knows?
Well, there are so many variables that go into the tax fund, it's hard to even predict what you're going to get month to month anyway.
Exactly.
Because it has to do with sales, vehicle traveling, you can look at trends. And so...
And even harder now with COVID.
That just throws another thing, another wrench in the gears. Roughly, and this is just looking at the past few years, roughly from year to year we see, and there's one year in here that's goofy, but roughly each year we see an increase around, I'd say in the $70,000 per year increase mark. There's 1 year that it was $26,000, and of course we had the road use tax fund, that was substantially. But this year we're only seeing a $6,000 increase from the previous year, so you can tell there's a little bit of loss there already. So just something to keep in the back of our heads for this coming year.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't have much to discuss today, unless you guys do.
Do you guys have anything to add or question?
Rich, I had a conversation with Tom Lander, and he had a couple questions that he'd like to have answers for. Could you give him a call or stop and visit with him sometime soon?
Yeah, you know what was in regards to?
The one question had to do with the new paving there north of Lander's Corner.
Okay.
With his trees there. But,
We discussed that a few months back, but go ahead. What was the other one, do you know?
I cannot remember what the other one was, but he kind of indicated that he'd like to visit with you again, so please do that for me. Thank you.
I'll do that. Yep.
Stan, did you have anything more for him?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
Yep, and bye, Rich.
Okay,
Bye.
we talked last week about bids for the county service building, roofing the gutter, and we want to go ahead and get that taken care of so they can get started.
Okay, Mason City Roofing gave us a bid of $42,000. Now this is the total bid. It was $42,880. That's for the roof and gutter. We had another bid in, Al and Tim's Roofing. They're out of Lime Springs. And they gave us a total bid of $25,317. And we also had another bid, which will be mute because of the cost. We had another bid just for the gutters themselves of $4,042, and that was from Iowa Extreme Seamless Gutters and Exterior. But anyways, being that Al and Tim's Roofing, there's a difference between the Mason City and Al and Tim's of $17,563. That's the difference. Again, I would suggest that we support Al and Tim's Roofing for this bid, for this project, and we'll probably have to draw up an agreement for what, you know, what will be done.
Imagine Mark can help us with that.
So, but anyways, I would like to indicate that Alan Timms has given us a pretty good bid.
And they were both on 40-year shingles, weren't they?
Both 40-year shingles. Mason City has a little bit better warranty, but, you know, for the difference.
Not enough to warrant with that much difference.
So, anyways, I would like to make a motion that we go with Alan Timms Roofing for their services on this, doing the job.
Well, what kind of agreement are you talking about?
Okay. I think Mason City has a 5-year extra warranty. I guess it's a 10-year on workmanship backed by GAF. That's though through GAF, so. But it seems like there's a 5-year difference in warranty as Alan,
Is that a separate price, you're saying?
that's part of it.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, this has a warranty of 40, you know, the shingles are 40-year shingles. But, once it's done, if it isn't leaking, their warranty, you know, workmanship will be done. I mean, you'll have a very little warranty along with it as far as their workmanship. The shingles have the 40-year shingle warranty.
So there's not even that first year?
Well, it's not written down, that's why I say we have to put that in writing on, you know, what they're gonna give us in that contract, but at $17,000,
Well, I think we ought to really have that all done first before we agree to it.
You're probably right.
okay, well, I will go after this agreement then, and we'll go from there, but $17,000 difference is quite a.
Oh, most likely we're gonna still go with them, but yeah, might as well get that little detail, like, which could turn into a big detail.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Appreciate you checking into this for us. Okay, so that'll be on next week's agenda. And then we have one fire works permit to approve, Nathan By of 933 Chase Street. Okay, so is he, oh, but the actual location of it is Cedar Ridge property on 332nd Street, so it would be in the country.
So move to approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, no further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that fireworks permit is approved for Nathan By. Okay, meetings attended. I had one last night, and I'm gonna report on it next week. I didn't have time to write up notes or anything on it. I had a county social service HR committee meeting, and we also met with the executive committee in person this time. Bob Lincoln has resigned as administrator. He's taking a new position in Waterloo. And so we need to come up with a job description for advertising. And there is a possibility of the intern person that already works there, she has the option of applying for that job when the time comes too. And we got big news that state wants to turn us into 2 regions, even though none of us wanted nor asked for it that are involved with this. We sent a text directly to the government because one of the guys had kind of an in with her and asking to speak to her, and she wrote back that she was gonna have one of her reps call us back. And I'll hear more on that next meeting because they hadn't called back yet by the time of our end of our meeting. Hopefully we can stop this because just from my experience with Iowa workforce development, it's a nightmare of changing, and you really end up with less services for your people, is basically what happens. So let's hope that we can fight this off. Let's see, we need somebody for quad service coordinator for West Quad, but we're gonna put it off until we know if we have to divide into those 2 regions. I also had a North Iowa Community Action meeting, and let's see. There was some places that they wanted to expand that, but the grant has not been released yet, so no more is being done on that. Head Start will be awarded money. By the way, we have this meeting in person too, so people are starting to open back up, but we're all socially distanced and some wear masks. Head Start will be awarded money for being closed due to COVID, and so they will have money for supplies such as touch thermometers and child-size masks, etc., to be able to open up for fall with 16 children. Those 16 families are called weekly. Now, no meals have been served since March, but they did deliver 350 meals. With that COVID money, they want to get keyless entries, more sneeze guards, and laptops so people don't have to share their laptops. They provided transition, those kids that they have been dealing with, they provided transition activities to do at home. And they cleaned all their carpets while they were closed, the offices were closed, and purchased sneeze guards for the offices. And they had 13 policies that needed changing due to COVID. And they'll only be having 10 in a classroom. And just some of the new COVID rules in place, and I will only read a few because there are a ton of them. No blankets in the classroom, no stuffed animals can come in, only a plastic sack of an extra pair of clothes. Cribs will be 6 feet apart, placed head to toe. They'll try to do more activities outside. Masks will be only worn at certain times, such as pick up and drop off times. No masks for age under 2. Staff will wear shoe coverings or wear a pair of shoes that are only worn in the classroom. Kids will be given gripper socks. Staffs will sign the kids in and out on iPads. Children with temperatures of 100.4 or over are sent home. School will be let out early 1 day a week for deep cleaning. And I'm going to quit there. As for community needs, they found that the most things that were needed were cleaning supplies, paper products, laundry soap, food, baby formula, baby wipes, diapers, masks, hand sanitizer. And they did have to purchase some track phones in order to communicate with some because they had no other way to communicate. So I'll report on my other one next week.
I would have had a meeting, but they canceled it last night.
Okay.
So FMC.
I have more, they add more, they never cancel.
FMC Early Childhood will be maybe next month. Stan?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Board appointments, good, Mark Ross is with us. We needed to come up with 2 names for Planning and Zoning Board of Adjustment and 3 names for Planning and Zoning Commission. We need to keep in mind that we don't want all from one area, such as Osage, and we also need to be gender balanced. I know I came up with 2 women's names, and I've heard that Mark has 2 women that contacted him. And then Steve has 2 names, and Stan, you just told me that you have 2 names?
I have 2 names for the Board of Adjustment.
Okay, but I think Steve has 2 names for that too, so.
Nope, just one,
Just one? Okay.
just one.
All right, so how do we handle that, Mark? What have they done in the past?
The supervisors picked out whoever they wanted to fill those positions, and that was that.
Okay, so why don't you guys name your names and what area they would be representing, what area are they from, I should say.
So are you asking
For,
planning?
let's do for Board of Adjustment first.
Okay, I have Tony Helfter, and he's 2 miles north of New Haven and a little bit east. That's for Planning and Zoning Board of Adjustment.
And I had Mike Patterson, that lives between, well, no, I guess he lives outside of St. Ansgar, but he's outside in the country, and the same with Chaley Schultz.
Yes, they all had to be in the country.
Right, and those 2 are both in St. Ansgar area.
And what's the other one, Chaley?
Chaley, Chaley.
Is that a
Schultz.
woman?
No,
Chaley. Oh, okay.
no,
I've heard
you
that.
already had 2 women on the board,
Right,
so we could either have,
yes, yeah. No, I just didn't know if Chaley was a man or woman's
yeah,
name.
no,
Okay. And what area is he from?
both from St.
St.
Ansgar.
Ansgar. Okay. And the ones we have on there, looks like are all Osage reps. Okay, so we just need 2 names and we've got 3. Lowell, how do we handle that? Do we just,
Well, Steve, is your nominee a relative?
Brother-in-law,
Brother-in-law.
but
see, yeah, it's probably an Osage address, but it is by New Haven.
that's,
New Haven-
he's north of New Haven,
So,
2 miles.
okay, do you have any comments to add, Mark, to this?
No, I mean, if you got one from St. Ansgar area and one from New Haven area, that would make sense to me. But it's
That
up
makes
to you
sense to
guys.
me too. So, we could possibly keep Tony and then let's decide between Mike and Chaley. Would that be okay, Stan?
Well, it still leaves 4 from the Osage area and 1 from,
Well, Pete and Tony, I mean, aren't you really considering them St. Ansgar area?
no. No, he has an Osage area.
Tony Helfter.
It'd be,
Pete
No,
told
I'm
me,
talking
Pete
about
told me
Pete
that's already
Tony. I
on
mean,
there.
he lives
Oh.
up by Toterville.
Okay, I see you.
Oh, he does? That's quite a ways. He
Well,
could
why would
almost,
he have an Osage address?
Well, that'd be where his mail comes from.
Just depends on how the zip codes are.
No, but I mean, up by the Toterville, that's all St. Ansgar addresses. It's,
Well, you know where Pete lives.
no, I don't.
Okay, it's on Patterson Seed Road. Very,
he'd be about halfway between Stacyville and St. Ansgar.
anyway,
he maybe does his business in St. Ansgar.
Well, this shouldn't be too hard of a thing to figure out. I mean, we're scattered them, you're getting appointments that are scattered throughout the community. They're not just from one area.
Mhm. Yeah, and
Well,
Tony,
then I would suggest that we go with Chaley.
Shaley, okay. And Tony, he's kind of closer towards Riceville too, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. So we could kind of consider him for that area too. Okay, so, let's see about approving both Tony Helfter and Shaley Schultz. Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it. Okay, any further discussion? All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Stan. And opposed?
Aye.
Oh, you're saying aye for opposed?
Right.
Okay. All right. We've got those two approved. Okay. And I know you have Tom Lathan from Stacyville for Planning and Zoning Commission, Steve, but I really would like to stick with 3 women.
Tom Lander.
Oh, Lander, okay. I've heard that name, but I don't know if I know him.
He's got a business in Stacy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Lander.
that's probably where I've heard it.
Landers.
He's lived there all,
Stacyville Repair.
he's lived up there all his life.
Okay. But we already have 3 men, so to be honest, I would like to stick with 3 women. And the names we have are Rita Dvorak, Jolene Norby, Pam Schaefer-Smith. Now, Rita would be Riceville, Jolene would be Osage Mitchell, and Pam is more like Stacyville. And then the 2 names that came in, remind me, Mark?
There's Meek,
Brianna Meek.
Brianna. And where does she live? Is she Stacyville?
she lives way up on the.
She would be halfway between Stacyville and Totterville.
Okay. And Pam, oh, I already said Pam Schaefer-Smith. Was the other one, wasn't it?
How do you spell Schaefer?
I believe it's SCHAEFER-Smith. Does that sound right, Mark?
2 Fs, I thought.
Is there 2 Fs? Okay. Thank you. So that's 4 names.
Well, I would suggest that we drop Rita from the standpoint that, between the Dvoraks and the Eastmans over there, they've had lawsuits and so on and so forth, and I'd just as soon not have that kind of controversy.
Oh, now Rita is the one I definitely want to keep.
Definitely want
She has proved herself with so many things of doing her research, and she's smart as a whip, and I don't think that should have anything, that's their personal business, it shouldn't have anything to do
Well,
with
that
us.
can carry over to the Planning and Zoning Board, because
I myself, again, that's between them 2 families. I haven't seen where there's been any other issues, so I think it's up in the air. I don't see a problem with her being in there.
Okay, how about Jolene?
She is on the Board of Health, if that makes any difference.
Okay. And Pam
Yeah.
Schaefer-Smith? I used to know her years ago from the Chamber of Commerce. I'm trying to remember, did she have a fabric store?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know,
That's
she
what I
still
was
works in
thinking.
St. Ansgar somewhere. I think she worked for Pat Rory
Oh,
at one
okay.
point. I don't know if she still does.
Attorney or tax accounting, whichever. And I don't know anything about Brianna.
I don't know anything about Schaefer, and
I don't either, like I say, I just don't wanna get with the feud over there between those two. I don't think that, cause if there's a zoning issue comes up with, you know, Eastmans are fairly, progressive in this and that, I really don't wanna have that type of thing coming up. And
Anything to add, Mark? Because all of them would cover a different area,
I guess if there's only,
other than, I guess that might make too many for Osage with Jolene.
why don't we excuse Joe?
I guess I'd like to get it done with.
I don't have any upcoming meetings, nothing scheduled, so,
Okay.
but sooner you get them appointed, I guess, the better, but.
Okay, is there any reason really though for
What-
waiting?
What is it, Kate, we're gonna, it's Rita DeVore,
Because yeah, because two of us want Rita,
Brianna Meek,
And
and
Pam Schaefer-Smith.
I'd make a motion that we approve those three names.
I'll second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay?
I,
Okay,
they, whatever,
sure, we know what you mean. All right, we've got three new board members for the zoning commission. Okay, manure management plan updates.
Anderson Finisher Farm at 3258 440th Street, Riceville. Larry Beeson Farm, 2090 State Line Street, Stacyville. Relo 1 LLC, 3732 Noble Avenue, Osage. And Relo 3 LLC, 2734 350th Street, Osage. Four of them.
Samantha, did ever Casey give you a form? He gave us like a monthly report of kind of what he was doing. He probably never mentioned it to you. Do we want a report of what she's done this month, if there's anything extra that we need to know about, or should we just skip it since she's gonna be gone in July? Just skip it? Okay. Don't have to worry about it. I just happened to come across his report and went, oh, are we supposed to be having her do this, but such a short period. But meanwhile, if you think of anybody that, as far as a replacement, you should let us know. Talk
No.
about that.
Didn't we have a plan where we were going to have,
Well, it was basically just having those regular computer people help us out, but
wasn't that the
that would
idea
be-
of it, that
but
they
that
would
would be
That
nobody
would be
on
with the
hand.
system, it's kind of the thing with the hands-on with computers on a more of a daily basis.
But it's not somebody here if we need help.
I guess I had it in my head that was kind of what.
That was our
Probably
back-
should have
that's
been
our-
advertising for
That's our
another person.
backup plan. That's why we
beginning.
need to get going on this.
Okay,
Do you feel like it should still, for this temporary person, do you feel like it still should be full-time, Sammy, or do you think they could get by with a little less?
I mean, it could be either, definitely.
Because we may want to just advertise for 30 hours, or
and
if we think we can get by with that, but every
I would
day.
keep in touch with Casey and get his input on this.
But there's probably a lot more he did because he was here, gonna be here forever, and putting things in place that are being put off now until later. And so that's why I'm thinking we can maybe get by with more of a part-time person.
Again, that would be a Casey question.
Well, I'll ask him, but it's up to us. So, be thinking about that for next week then. Because we definitely need to get going on this. Okay, do we have any public comments?
Well, I would like to make an item, a note or whatever, that as of yesterday yet, Mitchell County has only had 8 cases of the coronavirus, and Worth County has only had 6. I mean, the rest of the counties around us have had considerable increases in that, and so want to make a note that we've really been doing a decent job of trying to I mean, the public here in Mitchell County, and they have to be commended for the job that they're doing.
Yes.
That they're following guidelines.
Our
and
medical
so-
people and our public health I give them a lot of credit because they encourage people with the mask and the distancing and all those things help.
Well, it's even
Keep it in
like,
check.
it's even like this afternoon, I'm driving junior varsity and varsity baseball to Garner. And fumigate the bus before we leave. When we come back, I fumigate the bus again, and we're taking all of those.
That's great because there's a very good possibility they could get exposed.
Actually, there's 9 cases.
Is there 9 now? Okay.
I thought
Well-
there was 9.
KINT kept on showing 8, so that's why.
I think the 9th just must have just got reported because I thought it was
Just heard
like
yesterday.
day before yesterday,
sure
I
where
still
it's
heard
at.
8.
But in any event, why,
It's not bad.
No. Let's keep up the good work. Everybody still keep using some safety measures. Okay, if there's no public comments,
and then Friday morning at 8:30 we meet?
Yes, we do.
You wanna start a little earlier, 8:15, and just have the public hearing at 8:30, because I know you have to leave.
because then we could at least get claims done.
No, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, okay,
Shouldn't take long.
all right, 8:15 Friday. That sounds good. Okay, with no public comments, this meeting is adjourned.
I guess I'm here